Well, our final day of racing set to roll here at Loretta Lynn's as we kick off this Saturday with the Schoolboy 1 12-16 BC class. Jalek Swoll coming into this one with the points lead. He's actually tied with Mason Gonzalez as they both share a Moto win and a second place position. Jalek Swoll winning second Moto. Of course, Gonzalez taking the win in Moto 1. Ethan Mann, a 3 and an 8, puts him in a third place position right now, rolling into this final Moto. Caden Nipping, an 8 and a 5, scores him 13 points in fourth place right now as we head into the final moments of 2017 for this class. Carter Bees, the 33 Husqvarna rider, a 7 and 6. Colin Park in 6 with a 4 and a 9. Seventh place right now, Russ Chapman, the 29 with a 6 and 10. Eighth place is Chandler Baker, the 42 with a 5 and 11. Ninth place, Palmer Neely, the 77 with a 15 and 4. And Gavin Leachman, the number 19, rounds out the top 10 heading into this final Moto here today. And as you can see, some consistency there through the front 2 or 3, but past that, it kind of bounces around a little bit as we see sometimes in the top 10 and outside the top 10 at the same time. Will they pull it all together here today as we roll into that first turn of the Bell Moto Holeshot Award here this morning as we get it sorted out in this this Schoolboy 1 12-16 BC class, and it's Palmer Neely, the 77 KTM, grabbing a hole shot early on in this one, my friends, and right now he has got company coming, and it's a host of about 41 other riders trying to jockey and vie for that very same position. A couple of riders to keep an eye out for, the number 30 of Jalek Swoll, the number 93 Mason Gonzalez, and of course the 52 of Ethan Mann. Mann's had some pretty decent starts so far this week. It looks like he may have gotten off to another decent start. I believe that's him back in the number 2 spot now as we kick things off here. So you see the beautiful sunshine here on a Saturday morning at Loretta Lynn's. Back through the Storyland area, now making their way past the Waterworks. Palmer Neely continues to lead here through lap number 1. Back in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th place position, we got a 3-way battle and shootout taking place in that one right now as Neely trying to stretch things out. That is the, looks like maybe the 55 that we saw going by there. I thought that was Ethan Mann. We'll double check when they get a little bit closer here in just a few moments, but into the heart of Loretta Lynn's itself around the Thor, what used to be sweeper turn, now the Thor roller turn, and we get her all sorted out here at the end of lap number 1. Again, Neely taking the early lead out of Covington, Louisiana, the Bell Helmets Holeshot Award, picking himself up an extra $100. We see Jalek Swoll is buried back a little bit in the pack right now, but he is still in a top 10. Actually, only 4th place is Gonzalez right behind him in the 5th place position. Those two riders are battling for the championship, and right now, Jalek Swoll with a 2-1-4 is still in command of the national title. Mason Gonzalez has a 1-2-5. He's not far out of the running as well, but as we take a look at our top running order in the Schoolboy 1 after lap 1, Neely, Austin Black, it was a 55 machine in second. The 33 of Carter Bees is in the number 3 spot, but there he is now trying to make grade for that second place position away from the 55 of Austin Black as we roll into the Cometic roll turn and right down through the GoPro 10 Commandments now. There's the 4th place ride of Jalek Swoll, and right behind him is the 93 Yamaha of Mason Gonzalez. Those are the two battling for the national championship right now. Neely, though, holding down a great run here. He comes into this one with a 15 and a 4, so he's one of those riders that we talked about just a few moments ago that is looking for that redemption, looking for that opportunity to make his mark and stake his claims, if nothing else, here for Moto number 3. And as Megawatt Matt Watson joins us here this morning, that's exactly what Neely is doing. But, man, he's got company coming in here, and that 4th and 5th place ride, that's the battle for the championship we're watching right now, Jalek Swoll and Mason Gonzalez.
That's where it's at right now, Rodney. As you mentioned, 1 point separating these guys. I could not wait to get down here this morning. I was anticipating this race. Here this morning, I was anticipating this race like no other for this reason that we're seeing right now. We knew that there was going to be quite the battle. Swoll only having 1 point to spare right now as it stands, but I could tell you, Neely, Black, Bice, Gonzalez, Mann, Sanford, all those guys want to stop his drive for that championship. And I can tell you, it's obvious right now, looking at a 157.1 for Neely. But look at Black coming in with a 156.5.
All right, there you go. Neely, actually, like you said, a 156.5, but he's got Carter Bees that is pushing the envelope from back there in third place position as he's being pushed by Swoll and Gonzalez.
Just go.
All right. So right now we got Ethan Mann back in the number 6 spot. Chandler Baker is 7th. Maxwell Sanford after 2 in the number 8 spot. Christopher Torres is 9th. Kyson Palmer in 10th. Tommy Rios, the number 24, is 11th. Cameron Mitchell in 12th. Stephen Hooker in 13th. Jackson Gray 14th. Colin Park 15th. Haruki Sagawa in 16th. Russ Chapman in 17th. Bryce Hanson 18th. Dalton Dyer 19th. And Kai Aiello in that number 20 spot. That's how things are looking after the first 2 laps of racing complete. As we turn our attention back up front to Palmer Neely, a 1.2 second gap is what he was enjoying and appears to be doing. And Austin Black still back in second. I'll tell you, the big surprise is that battle back there for the 4th and 5th place positions. We kind of expect to see both Jalik Swoll and Mason Gonzalez battling Megawatt. But who would have expected to see them battling for 4th and 5th right now? They're still battling for the championship, but it's not up front like I'm sure a lot of people were expecting.
Uh-oh, look at this. A puff of smoke right now coming out of that number 30 machine, it looked like, of Jalik Swoll. Looked like as he rounded the tree back there, a big puff of steam coming out of that thing. Let's just hope a little bit of overflow on the exhaust maybe, Rodney.
Well, Gonzalez is around, and now Swoll, I'm sure he is aware of the issue and the problem. So the best and only thing that he can do is ride that machine until it can be ridden no longer. And so far, that was a big puff. We are seeing little puffs right now, but Jalik Swoll was not letting the hammer down any.
Right now you can't.
No.
The bottom line is you're not going to baby a motor and try to save 7th, 8th, 9th place. You got to get to the front. You got to stay where you're at right now, Rodney. You can't lose positions. You lose one position, you lose the championship. So you know what? The motor's a small cost right now.
It is. And right now, Jalik Swoll has lost the championship as Mason Gonzalez has got the scores of 1-2-4, scoring 7. Jalik Swoll's 2-1-5 is 8. He has got to hope for a couple things. 1, to get around the 93 of Gonzalez, and 2, for that machine. And I have to think that, and I've seen it early in this race, early in the race, I don't think that even a Husqvarna is going to be able to make the grade on this one.
You know, it has to put you into mind. A couple weeks ago, Zach Osborne, same situation. Husqvarna starts steaming in the middle of the race, but you know what? Zach made that thing all the way to the end, salvaged a bunch of valuable points, but we'll have to see what Jalik's able to do here. Is the bike going to lose power? Is it not going to be competitive? Are they just going to try to make it to the end? But I can tell you, as it stands right now, he's 1 point out of the championship.
He is 1 point out, and he's riding like he knows he's 1 point out of the championship, and he's trying to keep that machine up front. Gonzalez, we see there on the 93, but it's Neely, Black, Carter Bees was in the number 3 spot. I'm thinking now that maybe Gonzalez pushing up, and nope, Gonzalez still back in that number 4 position, at least for the moment. And we see Carter Bees, I believe, still in 3rd spot as Palmer Neely continues to lead through these final turns. Once Austin Black in 2nd aboard the 55. That's a couple of great runs for them. If we look down through our list here to see where Black is rolling here on that 55 machine through those first couple of motos, he took a 24th place finish in Moto number 1. But a 3rd place finish in Moto 2. To back that up with another Moto medal here today, you know, it would be a satisfactory ride for him. It may not be what he was looking for in a top 10 or even a national championship, but when you can salvage from outside the top 20 to going inside the top 20 like that, and even inside the podium 2 times, that's some pretty good things.
Rodney, on the track right now, the man on the move, Mason Gonzalez now. Past Carter Bice, 2 spots ahead of Swoll now. Look at this, 155.6 on lap 3. He just backed up number 4 lap, 155.7. Only guy on the track to dip into the 155s.
Wow.
Mason Gonzalez on the move, my friend.
He is most definitely on the move. The smoothest this racetrack will be all day long today, and these may be some of the faster lap times that we will witness. We got some fast classes, the 450B coming up, Super Mini 1. It'll be interesting to watch the lap times today as this racetrack develops. It's amazing race pace that it has developed throughout the course of this week so far.
You know, we were down here on the deck last night watching these guys groom the track, JR and the crew. And, you know, I was really envisioning this race, and I can tell you this isn't what I envisioned, my man, when I was watching them prep that track for this race this morning.
It is certainly, I mean, as rough as, I mean, they left a lot of the characteristics of the racetrack right in it, like the roller section that's coming through the Rocky Mountain section over there. Same thing in the Thor section over here. They left the identity of that so it could continue to develop as it has been all week. And that's the beauty of these track workers and designers, man. They design this track and they prepare it for the constant change that it undergoes throughout the course of the week. And adaptation is a part of being a national champion as much as being a fast rider. And watching these riders adapt to the conditions and the situations has been pretty amazing, I have to say.
And pretty amazing. Palmer Neely after 5, still out front. Look at this. Neely in the 158, but making no mistakes right now, Rodney. Riding a really smart race, hitting all these marks, hitting these lines, and able to keep that number 77 KTM out front.
Second place down, Austin Black out there by the billboard. And he had himself pretty much dialed in second. I know he was starting to feel a little bit of heat there from Mason Gonzalez, but he goes down, and now Gonzalez moves into the number 2 spot. He'll have just a little bit of time between himself and Palmer Neely, and Neely is about to be under pressure from our soon-to-be national champion here in this Schoolboy 112 to 16 BC class.
As it stands right now, Gonzalez has quite the cushion. Gonzalez can pull the throttle back, set the lever, man, put this thing on cruise control, and really, if stays out of trouble, got plenty of room to spare, can just ride this thing into a championship.
Well, right now, if you take a look at the standings, a 2-1-33. 36 now. Swoll is done out there on the racetrack. There, we seen him off to the racetrack in that little shot there, but the number 30, Husqvarna, not able to make the grade. That was just a little bit too much to ask for out of that machine, and that's a real heartbreaker for Swoll. But at the same time, those are the stories that are told here at Loretta Lynn's. You know, you seem to be on the verge and on the cusp of something huge and something monumental, and things happen. We saw it happen with Jet Reynolds yesterday in destroying his perfect record streak here at Loretta Lynn's. I know that was a heartbreaker for him, and that's what Loretta's is about, broken dreams and dreams being made. Legends are born here, and in order to be a legend, you got to be able to stand through it all.
Yeah, and you know what? I say it, I preach it. I was told it many years ago at Loretta's, you've got to survive. And you know what? There was one more race to survive for that number 30 machine. It just didn't make it this morning. But I could tell you what has happened here is another story was born. As you mentioned, that's what happens here at Loretta Lynn's. And the story today is Mason Gonzalez going 1-2-2 potentially and locking this thing down and putting his name in the books.
Well, I tell you, when he started out that first moto, taking that Moto gold out there, and he had this envision in his sight for himself, and that was securing a national championship title. It may not have been the road that he expected to travel to get there, but it all ends up, it looks like, in the same place, and that is in the center of the box with that big number 1 national championship plate from the American Motorcyclists Association.
That's exactly what it's all about. Rodney, notice a couple other bikes here spewing a little smoke this morning. Maybe the track a little deep out there, working these small engines a bit and putting some strain on them. But Swoll's bike not the only machine out there smoking here this morning in these conditions.
Well, right now, and there's Swoll limping off the track right now. Actually, they're pulling him off the track right now. A real heartbreaker, one that we didn't want to have to see, but I can tell you we know one situation that will only inspire an individual to do only greater in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. What doesn't break you makes you stronger.
That's exactly it.
You know, for sure. And I can tell you, that young man knows what his potential, what his standing is, knows what the situation was here today, and you know what? They'll go back to work next week.
That's exactly it. Palmer Neely still running a 1:58.8 out there, a 2.5-second lead as they rolled into the 7th lap of racing. That has now closed up as Gonzalez, sweeps the outside here in the final turn in that drive, and the number 93 now moving into the number 1 position. A 1-2-1 is what he is looking at here, and he swallows up Palmer Neely to take over the number 1 spot. Neely in that number 2 position now.
I told you on lap 3 he was on the move.
Yeah.
I told you on lap 3, take a look. Even before any situations, any other incidents, the guy was on the move. Mason Gonzalez now worked his way from that number 5 spot up into the lead. Look at this, 1-2-1. No questions, nothing left on the table. As finishes like this, a 1-2-1, exclamation point, done.
There you go. As we take a look at these riders here through these final laps, we're 14 minutes now into this race. Gonzalez, Neely, Bees, Ethan Mann up to 4th place. As we told you, a great redemption week for him as a good week for him as he went 3-8-3. And actually, Ethan Mann is looking at a 2nd place overall position with the way the scores are settling in here now. Again, a lot of inconsistencies this week, not only in this class, but throughout a number of our classes this week. Gonzalez 1-2-1 right now. Ethan Mann a 3-8-4 will give him 2nd. A 7-6-3 will give Carter Bees right now the 33 a 3rd place. Neely a 15-4-2. That rider getting some redemption here today as he will be looking at Moto Silver here today, a medal that I'm sure that he wanted to get many of this week, but like I say, that explanation point at the end of the week is better than none at all. 5th place Chandler Baker overall with a 5-11-5. And as they stand on the track right now, Gonzalez, Neely, Bees, Mann, and Baker, and got ourselves a battle that we're watching unfold there. Nope, that's actually the 77 and Neely getting through some lap traffic now, I believe. So he's actually, honestly, he is not relinquishing that lead so easily to Mason Gonzalez. He's trying to keep the hammer down. We saw a 2:01 lap time last time around for Neely. He must have made some sort of mistake that Gonzalez was able to capitalize on there, because he did not run any really faster lap that last time around than what Neely had been running. Neely had just slowed down to a 2:01. This time around, he's remained steady at a 2:01, and that gap's now almost 3 seconds.
Yeah, good observation. I was thinking there had to be a mistake there somewhere. If not, Gonzalez was just really pulling away, and as the time tells right now, obviously a mistake somewhere to cost him about 3 seconds.
And there we are, another. So like we said, now 3 seconds, and you know that this has got to be starting to play some mind games with Palmer Neely, but at the same time, he's got to be feeling pretty stoked that he is 2nd place. He knows that Gonzalez, and he knows that that Jalik Swoll was out of this one. He's no stranger to seeing puffs of smoke out of a machine. He saw it. He knew what was happening. He knew it was just a matter of time before it all unfolded there. So he was able to just keep the pressure applied until the situation unfolded for itself, and he didn't even have to make any risky moves or make any real pushes out there. All he had to do was just hang with Jalik for a little bit, let the machine do itself in, and then move on ahead.
Right, yeah, you know, a lot of times you'll get a visual, you know, from your competitors. You know, you'll see a tire going flat. You'll see a condition with the bike. You'll hear his bike pop or sputter, and in this case, saw some steam and, you know, just put a whole new direction on the game.
Yes, certainly did, and gave us a championship without much contention is what we saw there.
Right.
And some of these riders certainly deserving of that, because they work so hard and they put in the effort and the time, not only before getting here, but also while here at the racetrack. And Gonzalez, as hard as he worked this week, you knew he kind of deserved a little bit of easy street today, I think. But it's just because he's kind of on easy street don't mean it is easy street. There's Ethan Mann. I seen the 52 machine. Is he down a lap now, or has he actually moved up a couple of spots there? Let's assess the situation. Palmer Neely 5 seconds back of Mason Gonzalez. 4 seconds back of that is the 33 of Bees, and only 1.2 seconds back is Ethan Mann. And that's the battle we're watching right there. And
you know, you could see just those smallest mistakes. I watched Neely there just a minute ago stick that front end deep into a berm, and you know, that single pause was half a second, almost a second, getting that bike back up out of the rut and moving forward again. And you see those things so many times. We saw the leader yesterday actually just ride off the track, you know, and things like that. So there is no easy street here at Loretta Lynn's. There is no easy situation. And I can tell you, 1-2-1 never comes easy.
No, not at all. And Mason Gonzalez put in the work to make that happen. There's no doubt about that. the number 93 rider. Again, just coming here with a head full of hopes and dreams, and I'm sure a weight of anxiety as well, knowing that he had to race the stiffest and best competition in the world that was coming here, and the likes of, well, as we said, Swoll, but you also had riders like Ethan Mann and Carter Bees, and even Palmer Neely that has put together an amazing ride here in 2017 in these last couple of motos in particular. But here in the final lap of racing, Mason Gonzalez making his way into the final turns. He is on his way home to being a national champion. Over a couple more humps, a left-hand turn, and it's the drive to the national championship title. Mason Gonzalez does it as he goes 1-2-1 and takes the national championship in the Schoolboy 112-16 BC class.
Yeah, congratulations to that guy, because I want to tell you something. A lot of things could have went down here this morning. You know what I mean? We saw a lot of close racing. The first turn there, extremely tight. A lot of guys banging right there. And for him to hold that composure and to put in as solid a ride as he did on a fresh, slick track here this morning and succumb to no pressures from any direction, man. Great job, Mason Gonzalez, all I can say to you.
That's it. Palmer Neely, who grabbed the Bell Helmets Holeshot Award, the 77 machine will get silver medal silver moto medal, and something like that. Carter Bees, it's a long week for us too. 33, Carter Bees will take third. He'll get the bronze out here this week. As far as the overall is concerned, what we are seeing on the podium right now, or as far as the third moto podium, Gonzalez, Mann, and Bees, that's exactly what we're going to see for the overall championship as well. As Mann will go 3.84 for second, 7.63 for Carter Bees in third place. Palmer Neely's 15.42 actually yields him fourth overall, while Chandler Baker will go 5.11.6 to take a fifth place overall position.
Yeah, Palmer Neely getting off to a rough start there with a 15th in Moto number 1. But take a look at Moto number 2, man. Got up in there into that top 5. Podiumed out here on the final moto of the week. So great job for him. Carter Bice, man, 7.63. You know, caught up in some battles there all through the weekend. Bice there 6th and 7th. You know, that guy was always in the middle making something happen. So guess what? Bronze medal for him here at the end of the week.
No doubt about that. And Jason Wygant is making his way down to the Race Tech podium as we get to set to celebrate here our first champion of the morning at the Rocky Mountain ATV&C Amateur National Motocross Championship here at Loretta Lynn's. And Jason, I know that a lot of excitement around that podium, and for great reasons. There's a lot of hard work coming to close here as a national championship.
No doubt about it, Rodney. We have our third place finisher on the Husky, number 33, Carter Bees. How was the race, Carter?
Yeah, you know, we got off to a good start. Palmer was out front, and just started closing the gap, and we went into a rut, and it wasn't there, and I tipped over. Cost us second place, but no worries.
Cool. All right, who do you want to thank?
OC Racing, my mom, my dad, my brother, Club MX, they helped me get ready for this like no tomorrow. Fly, Scott, Dunlop, Nahilo, Recluse, Mika, Power Band, ODI, Black Diamond MX, Power Sports 1, Vertex, Pivot Works, everyone else, thank you.
There it is, folks. Carter Bees taking third. And we need to get Palmer Neely, who had our Holeshot Award, and second place. We'll bring Palmer on up and give him a silver. Well, it's always nice to collect some hardware, and a solid performance for a silver medal for Palmer Neely. And your Bell Helmets Holeshot Award. Let him take some pictures there. How'd the race go?
It was great. The track's it's really fast and smooth right now, so getting out to a great start is really important because everyone's going to be going fast, obviously.
All right, cool. You want to thank some people?
My mom, my dad, GPF, Answer, Faction, hats and shirts, Power Band, Tamer, Garnet, Bell, Power Band, just everyone, thank you. Pro Circuit.
Cool. Let's hear it for Palmer Neely. Second place. Great job, Palmer. And now, with 1-2-1 scores, we are going to crown our Schoolboy 125 champion. Let's bring him on up. Getting the job done. Pressure situation. Did what he needed to do. Comes through. And there was raw emotion here on the podium as soon as he pulled this motorcycle in. He understands how important it is to come out here and score a national championship. He's got it. And he is Mason Gonzalez.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Let that gate go down. Give a second here. All right, Mason, first of all, what was the emotions going into this one? You knew you're going to have to go out and try to win it under pressure. What was that feeling like?
It was like no other. I knew how to get a good start, knew how to get up front, knew how to stay consistent, not make any mistakes, knew how to get in front of Jalik, most likely win and come away with the title.
Now, Jalik had bike problems, but did you know any of that? Were you riding your own race? Were you wondering what was going on?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I wasn't really worried about it. I was just worried about getting up front and kind of sprinting, and, I wasn't worried about it that much.
When you came in here, it was an emotional moment. This means a lot.
Yeah, it means everything to me. I've worked so hard. And I couldn't do it without Rob, Sherry, my old team. It's all of us. It's not just me. If it weren't for my dad, my grandma, my mom, my sister, everybody here, it wouldn't be possible. So not all me. But
who else you want to thank?
My dad, my grandma, Rob, Sherry, Realdale, JMS Motors, Yamaha Triangle Cycles, Pro Taper, Thor 60, 100%, Dunlop, 160, and everybody. I'm so emotional right now, and I want to thank TCD Suspension. Suspension's working great.
This is huge. This is the national championship in Schoolboy 125. Let's hear it for Mason Gonzalez.
We are the champions.
Chip Bigelow from the AMA presents the #1 plate. Yeah, he kisses the #1 plate. That's what we want to see. You can see the heart and soul right here of a champion, Mason Gonzalez.